Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Jane and today I will be talking about something that has been giving goths a bad reputation for years now. And it's the way that people objectify goths. People see goths as hot objects and I'm kind of done with this, so I just want to make a video about this. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you probably know my opinion about all this, but I've seen a lot of kind of bothering things lately and I just want to talk about this. I want to talk about what I've been seeing and what I think about all that. And this video is also just a way to ask people to please stop objectifying goths and the goth subculture. Now, I am not here to hate on anyone or to blame anyone for this. There's a lot of different things that have kind of contributed to this weird stereotype. So please do not think that I'm trying to offend anyone. I'm just like telling you what I've been seeing and what I think about it. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm sure everyone has seen those kind of boys who keep announcing that they really want a goth girlfriend. And as I've said before, I think that is fine if you want a goth girlfriend because you have similar interests. Like if you are into the gothic music or you are into dark stuff or whatever, then I think it would be fine. Like there is nothing wrong with having a type and like wanting someone to be your partner because they have similar interests. That is totally fine. So please do not feel offended if you want a goth girlfriend for those kind of reasons. But a lot of these people that want a goth girlfriend want them for another reason, which is because they think goth girls are kinky, they're into BDSM, so all those weird things that just kind of assume things about goths in the bedroom, you know? So this is more about the people who see goths as objects, as a way to their satisfaction, as a way to their fantasies, which is something I personally just do not like because it's kind of giving goths a wrong reputation and it's causing people to cross a lot of boundaries with goth girls. If you're a goth or you know a goth, you've probably experienced this. Someone walking up to you or sending you a DM telling you how hot you are and what they want to do to you because you're a goth. So I will be giving some more examples in a few minutes. But what I want to talk about first is that people have been seeing goth as something that it just isn't. They have been seeing it as like a kink or something, or like a fetish even, when the whole goth subculture is about music and fashion and just all those innocent little things that have nothing to do with what people are kind of thinking that goth is. And it's just, yeah, causing all these people to cross the boundaries with goths and to like think weird things about us, and it's giving us a weird reputation. Some people in my real life even think that I'm just doing this to appeal to men. No, I am not. This is just my style and it has nothing to do with trying to look good for men or trying to show off my body or trying to do anything in that kind of direction, if you know what I mean. So I've been watching videos from other people about this, and something that really shocked me that I saw is someone who was talking about this subreddit. Now, if you don't know Reddit, I do not personally use it, but it's just a place where people can put anything, and there's these subreddits, I believe, and that is kind of a topic that people post things about, if I'm correct. So there's this subreddit that is called Goth, and it's just all about goths looking hot, and there's probably some pictures of some goths that are in scar clothing and just kind of, yeah, the name says enough. It's not about how cool goths are and how lovely their music is. Like, it's just about objectifying goths and seeing them as something that you want to look at, that you want to do things to, and not as a person, you know? And this subreddit has over 1 million followers or members or whatever you call them. More than 1 million people are just kind of into this whole thing. That many people apparently do not necessarily see us as a cute little subculture with nice music and some cool interests. They see us as objects that they like to look at, which is something that a lot of goths just do not want. Like, I'm sure some goths do, which is totally fine. Like, if you want to be that for men, that is fine, like do what you want, but it's giving goth a bad reputation because a lot of people think goth is all about that. A lot of influencers, TikTokers, models have been kind of feeding into this whole stereotype. Just try looking up goth on Instagram and see what kind of posts you will get.
Bruh. Huh? What? Huh? No! God, please, no! 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 No!
There are some goths just talking about the music and talking about the style, whatever, but nearly 99% is just women showing off their bodies, which I think is fine if you want to do that, but that is not goth. That is not supposed to be the thing that comes up when you look up goth. Like, why is that? Apparently, if you look up goth, that is what Instagram thinks that you mean. And no, this is not because of my preferences, because I barely use any social media and I do not personally look up those kind of things. And these people are calling themselves goth. I don't know if they're actually a goth. I am not the one who can say that, but they are using that word in order to appeal to men. And then men are kind of assuming that goths are their type, because every time they see a goth girl, she looks really hot and pretty. As I said, it's giving goth a bad reputation. It's making people, especially those men, think that that is goth when it just isn't. What I'm trying to say is that people are kind of using the goth subculture for things that goth is not. And I am strongly against gatekeeping, so I'm not gonna say that people cannot call themselves goth and do those things. Like, you sure can, but I just want people to stop thinking that every single girl who looks hot and has eyeliner on is a goth, and that every goth looks that way, that every goth is just dressing up this way to look hot, or that every goth girl is into BDSM and kinky stuff. Like, that is just not true. That is not a thing. I just wish people would kind of stop using the whole goth thing in this way, because it's kind of gotten to the point where every single goth is being objectified now, by certain people at least. Many of these influencers, some of who I know for sure that they are not a goth, have been using the hashtag goth just to get on like people's pages when they're not actually goth. And they're also using like hashtag emo, hashtag alt, hashtag all these things, and hashtag goth as well, just to show that they're alternative, because men think that it's really hot. If you're going to pretty much anyone's Instagram of a goth girl, even the ones that are totally covered, that are not making videos for men to enjoy, if you know what I mean, a lot of comments are just gross. Like I've been seeing this thing, goth mommy, so many times, and I'm just done seeing that. I think that is disgusting, and I wish people would just stop calling every single goth that. And the thing is, most of the people who are called goth mommy, who are called pretty goth, whatever, are people who kind of dress pretty casual, like just some eyeliner and some lipstick, and that's it. But some of the actual goths, especially the trad goth ones, and me for example, are judged and bullied by those same people who call those people goth mommy because we do not look pretty enough for a goth. Like, just let me tell you, being goth is not about being pretty and being hot for you or for anyone. It's about expressing yourself and being the way you want to be. So I do not understand why these men or people are bullying the actual goths while they are worshipping these Instagram models that put hashtag goth under their pictures. And most of the actual typical goths have got less followers than these influencers who are not necessarily goths. So a lot of people are just only seeing these influencers and these e-girls and these girls that are making content for men. They are seeing more of that than of the actual goths. And that is giving goths the bad reputation, because people just only see that. So they assume that the whole subculture is about that. Yeah, I'm really hoping I am not offending anyone with all this. Like, I'm not judging or blaming anyone. I'm just kind of done with this stereotype. I'm done with the fact that every time I tell a random person, if it's online or in real life, that I'm a goth, they will immediately be like, oh, so you're a goth, huh? You know, I'm just done with that. I wish people would just see us as normal people who are just into a certain music type, who are into a certain fashion, and nothing more than that. There is nothing necessarily kinky or whatever about this whole subculture. Like sure, some individuals can be that way, but it's not like everyone who is goth is like that and is into that stuff. The most important thing that people need to know is that goths are like normal people. We have boundaries too. The fact that we dress up this way, the fact that we call ourselves goth, does not give you permission to ask us about things in the bedroom, to ask us about kinks, to fetishize us, to objectify us, to see us as something that is anything but just a person. This is not meant to be a fetish. This is not meant to be like anything in that direction. It's supposed to be a music-based subculture and nothing more than that. So yeah, the point of this video is kind of that I'm just so tired of seeing this. I'm tired of seeing people talk about this way. I'm done with people saying, I want a goth girlfriend, and we all know what they mean by that. So a little thing that I want to mention in this video is something that kind of is related to this, and it's about complimenting the way goths look. Now, because of the way that goths are objectified, some people, especially some men who have good intentions, are kind of afraid of approaching goth girls because they're afraid that they will be seen as creepy. So the last part of this video, I just want to explain to the people who are afraid of approaching goth girls what is the best way to approach a goth girl or to comment on someone's video or whatever in a non-objectifying way. So one thing that is very important is that compliments are always welcome. Everyone loves compliments, goth girls do as well. A lot of goth people are often bullied or judged by non-goth people for being kind of different, for looking different, having a unique style. A lot of people are judged for that or bullied for that. So for example, if I get bullied at school for having dyed hair, I would just really like someone to come up to me and be like, wow, your hair's so pretty. Because that just kind of makes it better, if you know what I mean. So that is kind of a thing for all goths. Many are judged for looking unique. So giving them a compliment is totally welcome and totally okay and actually super cool. But there are boundaries in compliments too. Do not approach a goth girl and be like, you look so hot. Because that immediately kind of makes it sound like you are objectifying them again, if you know what I mean. If you're trying to compliment a goth girl, just say something like, I like your style, your outfit looks good, your makeup looks good, your hair is pretty, whatever. And definitely do make clear what kind of intentions you have, because a lot of goth people are now kind of used to people coming up to them having, you know, wrong intentions. So just say like, I do not mean this in a creepy way, but I think you look really pretty because I love your style or whatever, you know? You can definitely compliment someone for being goth in a non-creepy, non-objectifying way. The most important thing is just to let that person know that you do not mean it in an objectifying way and that you do not want anything from them, that you just want to compliment them, and that's it. I am saying all this, but this thing really depends on every person. I personally do like when people give me a compliment, but I like it less when people give me a compliment about the way my body looks or whatever, you know? I do not really like when people come up to me and say that sort of stuff. But this can be different for every person, so I think you just kind of need to know the person, and if you do not know the person, just try to be careful with comments about someone's body or figure, because girls, and especially the gothic girls, will just assume that you mean it in a creepy way, because that just happens a lot to them. And please definitely do not talk about BDSM or kink or any of those things, because as I said, that is a misconception, it's a stereotype, it's not true, it's not a goth thing. So do not walk up to any goth talking about that, especially not just a random girl that you see for the first time, because that is just as creepy as walking up to a normal girl who is dressed normally and talking about that stuff, you know? The fact that we are wearing goth clothes does not mean that we have less boundaries than anyone else. So yeah, that was a total rant, and I'm sorry if this was really messy. I just wanted to speak my thoughts, and I wanted to talk about this because it's been bothering me for a while now, and I just want to know if people are experiencing the same thing, if people think the same way about this, because I personally am just done with this. I just do not want to be seen as an object anymore just because I dress a certain way and because I listen to a certain type of music. I call myself a goth because I am proud to be part of the subculture that is about music and a mindset that is about freedom and expressing yourself. I do not call myself a goth because I want people to see me as an object and to see me as something hot. So yeah, do let me know in the comments what you think about all this. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was a total rant. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a like and a comment on my video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!